Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this special council meeting on December 1st, 2025, the last month of the year. It's hard to believe that we're already here. Individuals interested in participating in today's meeting were eligible to register online using the delegation registration form at www.kitchener.ca/delegation or via email at delegation@kitchener.ca. Any written comments received prior to the commencement of the meeting have been circulated to members of council prior to the meeting and will form part of the public record. The meeting live stream and archive videos are available at www.kitchener.ca/watchnow. Before we begin this afternoon's meeting, I'd like to acknowledge that today we're gathering on the traditional territory of the Neutral, Anishinaabe, and Haudenosaunee peoples. We recognize our responsibility to serve as stewards for the land and honor the original caretakers who came before us. Our community is enriched by the enduring knowledge and deep-rooted traditions of the diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit in Kitchener today. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? There being none, we'll move on to item 3. Council, you'll note the notice of the all-council meeting being hosted at the Township of Woolwich this time. As you'll recall, we're moving them around now to different municipalities, and this time it's Woolwich's turn, and it'll be on Friday, December the 19th at Woolwich Township Council Chambers at 24 Church Street West in Elmira. I believe it begins at 2 in the afternoon. Now, before we go into mayoral business, and in particular the 2026 budget, today's actually a special day beyond being December 1st. It's a special day because 15 years ago, 3 of our colleagues had the opportunity to sit around this horseshoe for the first time. And so I'd like to take a moment today to honor and thank 3 of our colleagues for completing 15 years of service on City Council. Ward 1 Councillor Scott Davey, Ward 6 Councillor Paul Singh, and Ward 7 Councillor Bill Ioannidis. As we mark this milestone, it's worth noting that when Scott, Bill, and Paul joined as councillors in 2010, they were the first council to come back to be a council of 10. We went through a period from 2000 to 2010 when we were a council of 6 plus the mayor, and then we went to a council of 10 that year, and a structure that really lasted through the entire time that Mayor Zaire was here and as mayor. Shortly in that year, council expanded to 10 members, and it was a change that is, I think, we'll all agree, has proven to be valuable. With more voices at the table, we've been able to collectively represent the diversity of our growing community, share responsibilities more effectively, and bring a wider range of perspectives to the decisions that shape Kitchener's future. And so now I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge each of the councillors. And we'll begin with Ward 1 Councillor Scott Davey. So Councillor Davey has been a dedicated representative for Ward 1 since 2010, bringing a strong background in finance and technology to the role. Over the past 15 years, he has championed fiscal responsibility as chair of the Finance and Corporate Services Committee, chairing all but one of those years in terms of the city budget. Being supportive of climate action through our Climate Change and Environment Committee, and serving on boards such as Centre in the Square and Innova Power Corp. Scott's leadership has been instrumental in advancing housing affordability initiatives, including our Growing Together framework and inclusionary zoning policies. But most importantly, he's been key in helping keep our fiscal house in order and making sure that we have had more than 10 budgets below the rate of inflation, helping lay a foundation to ensure that Kitchener remains a vibrant and sustainable city for the future. So with that, please join me in congratulating Scott Davey. We'll save the speeches for the end from the three of you. Next, we'll go to Ward 6 Councillor Paul Singh. Councillor Singh has also served our community since 2010, consistently championing initiatives that bring residents together and foster a sense of belonging. Building on the success of programs such as the Cinemas Under the Stars, which have provided families with memorable outdoor experiences, he continues to advocate for creative ways to strengthen community ties. Over the past 15 years, Paul has championed improvements to McLennan Park and Chandler Mode Community Center, introducing programs like Cinema Under the Stars, and led a pilot in Ward 6 that resulted in asphalted and winter-maintained trails that has now expanded citywide through the Cycling and Trails Master Plan. He also has been a strong advocate for housing affordability and active transportation, and Paul's entrepreneurial background and financial expertise have guided his work on economic development and as chair of our development committee and fiscal, and helping make Kitchener a city where everyone feels at home. Councillor Singh, it gives me great pleasure to present you with a certificate for your 15 years with the city. Today, Ward 7 Councillor Bill Ioannidis, who also joined us on council in 2010, also helping bring a strong commitment to community in all different aspects, being really a champion of the city, particularly when it comes to arts and entertainment, housing, community, and fiscal responsibility. Over the past 15 years, he's served in a variety of roles, including as Chair of Community Services and Vice Chair of Finance and Corporate Services, and contributing to boards such as Center in the Square and Kitchener Housing. He's championed initiatives that strengthen neighborhoods, support local arts and entertainment, and also help promote housing affordability. His leadership was instrumental, most recently, in projects like the Veterans Memorial Crosswalk, honoring those who served our country. Beyond our council, Bill has actively supported charitable causes, including the Food Bank and the Lee J. Levine Art Calendar Project. And Bill, your dedication and vision have helped make Kitchener a vibrant and inclusive city. Come on up. Council, like you, I'm honored to work alongside all three of these fine gentlemen. Their dedication, vision, and compassion have helped strengthen Kitchener in ways that cannot be overstated. Over the years, their leadership and collaboration have helped guide Kitchener through both challenges and opportunities, always with the goal of making our community a better place to live for all residents. Their legacy is reflected in the growth, resilience, and spirit of Kitchener, and for that, this community can be deeply grateful. Thank you to all three of you for all that you do for Kitchener. And now I'll turn the floor over to each of you if you'd like to say anything, and I'll start with Ward 1. Councillor Davey, here's your opportunity. You're good? Okay. Ward 6, Councillor Singh. Never to pass up on the... You wanna... This is your chance, guys. It's okay. See, we knew a little bit of peer pressure would get in there. Start the clock.
Yes, Councillor 559. No, I just thank you for acknowledging the 15 years that's gone by too fast. The 15 years went by fast because of, I think, the amazing teamwork that we've had on council, collaboratively working with each other, seeing eye to eye, and when there's differences there, helping each other understand what those differences really are, and the respect has always been bountiful, and I appreciate that, and thank you to you, Barry, as well. And of course, working at any organization, the leadership, the corporate leadership matters a lot, and our staff that are dedicated and give so much. And we do the easy stuff. We talk, but you guys make it happen. So for the last 15 years, just want to thank staff. Thank you.
And now, Councillor Ioannidis. You're okay too? There you go. The two bookends declined to speak. Let the minutes note that. you get there 5 minutes too. No, just kidding. Thanks again, gentlemen, for your combined 45 years of service to the community. That's pretty significant. So, well done. Congratulations. Okay, there are no delegations, so we will move on to item 6.1, which is the proposed 2026 budget. And I'll take a few moments to just make some remarks in regards to the budget. Colleagues, as you'll recall, last Monday, City staff presented us with the draft 2026 budget for our consideration and discussion, and based on direction that was provided earlier this year, informed by this council and our community priorities, and in alignment with the city's approved financial guidelines and policies. The budget that's before you today is being presented in a manner that's consistent with the legislation that was implemented on July 1st, 2023 by the Ontario government, requiring the mayor to be responsible for proposing the municipal budget. But in doing so, this budget is presented in a manner, as we've done in the last 2 years, where we've endeavored to do it in a way that's consistent with the collaborative approach that's been developed over many years and exists between our council and staff in our annual budget work. The proposed 2026 budget, which was attached to the agenda, is there as an information report in accordance with legislation and timelines that were outlined during the budget process and agreed to by council. And council was provided the opportunity to review and discuss the draft budget material at that meeting, ask lots of questions, as well as providing input and direction, particularly as it related to the $1 million in one-time capital funding that the staff left in the proposed budget for our consideration. After reviewing the proposed budget, if a member of council feels the need to put forward amendments for consideration, those need to be received by the clerk by December 8th and will be dealt with at a December 11th special council meeting. For clarity, today's meeting is not intended for council to debate the proposed budget, but it is to officially put on the record the proposed 2026 budget. I do want to also begin, before I speak to it, to thank both Chair of Finance and Corporate Services Committee, Councillor Scott Davey, as well as Vice Chair, Councillor Bill Ioannidis, for all of their work in this process, as well as our corporate leadership team, our finance budget team, as well as all the staff throughout the organization who have spent many months in preparing a budget that focused on balancing affordability and the future readiness for our community. Based on all of that and the direction that was provided earlier this year, I think it's fair to say that Kitchener has once again demonstrated its commitment to considering affordability when setting our budget, consistently delivering tax rate increases that are aligned with the rate of inflation in Ontario, in fact, below it. And Kitchener's track record speaks for itself when it comes to balancing affordability, service demands, and responding to growth-related pressures. In fact, during the past 10 years, Kitchener's tax rate increases have averaged 2.54%, below the Ontario inflation, which has averaged 2.69% during that same time frame. The 2026 draft budget prepared by staff and presented to council last week builds on the success of these previous budgets by continuing to address priorities that are important for our community. From affordable city services that deliver the programs and services that residents and businesses rely on every day, to smart investments in infrastructure that help to address the city's asset replacement and growth-related needs, to focusing on the future and providing funding to implement the city's 2023 to 26 strategic plan that will help shape Kitchener's future. The 2026 draft budget balances several priorities and ensures Kitchener is affordable today while remaining ready for tomorrow. The proposed tax rate increase of 2.2%, as outlined in the budget, maintains existing service levels for the approximately 50 core services that the city provides and still responds to growth-related pressures that come with welcoming new residents to Kitchener each year. Our community has continued to grow over the past many years and is now home to over 300,000 residents. Even with the increased pressures of serving a larger population base, the city has been able to keep pace, carefully balancing increased service needs while still proposing budget increases we believe are reasonable. As noted by our CFO, Mr. Lautenbach, during his presentations last week, Kitchener has one of the lowest tax levies per capita in the province when compared to other large municipalities in Ontario. It has a low municipal burden, which accounts for property taxes and utility rates, which means Kitchener is one of the most affordable cities in the entire province. Although Kitchener only makes up 30% of the local residential tax bill, Kitchener City Council and staff understand the challenging economic environment that residents have faced over the past many years, so we're doing our part to keep property taxes as low as possible without sacrificing service-related needs. Kitchener has always demonstrated its commitment to considering affordability when setting its budget, consistently delivering a tax rate increase that are aligned, as I said earlier, with the rate of inflation. And that track record speaks for itself when it comes to balancing affordability, service demands, and responding to those growth-related pressures. I think we can all be proud of this council's and our staff's approach to rate setting and believe that Kitchener is a model of efficient, effective, and sustainable local government in Ontario. This budget that's before us should give residents confidence that they are getting good value for the programs and services that the city provides. In terms of smart investments in infrastructure, Kitchener is also making important investments, recognizing the need to care for the more than $15 billion worth of assets the city is responsible for, while also moving forward with new infrastructure that's needed to support housing and a growing community. The city's $1.8 billion capital budget identifies the infrastructure that's planned to be replaced over the next 10 years. And although the city's planned investment over 10 years is significant, it's still not enough to address all of the city's infrastructure replacement needs. Despite these challenges, the city's been proactive in trying to address our infrastructure needs, including launching the Water Infrastructure Program in 2017 to fund replacement of underground infrastructure, both water, sanitary, and storm. By moving to a more predictable rate model, the city has been able to fund approximately $555 million in capital infrastructure replacements since the program was established, and we're currently in the third year of the council-approved 2024 to 2027 Water Infrastructure or WIP program. Secondly, we've seen annual funding for the rehabilitation of aging facility infrastructure has been increased by approximately $5 million per year since 2019, and facilities continue to be a significant funding priority within the capital budget. And in 2026, we're allocating $1 million from the city's energy retrofit reserve to replace components and facilities with smart, energy-efficient solutions, which is helping to move the city towards a more sustainable, low-carbon future, while also providing operational savings over time. Besides the city's own efforts and strategies to try and address capital funding needs, staff have also pursued federal and provincial grant opportunities, successfully securing over $200 million in federal and provincial funding over the past 5 years. It's important for the city to continue to be proactive in this space, ensuring that all funding opportunities from other orders of government who are partners are fully explored, including continuing with advocacy efforts for additional infrastructure funding, since this represents the most significant funding challenges that municipalities face going forward. In addition to the rehabilitation of existing infrastructure, the city also needs to provide new infrastructure to support a growing community. This new infrastructure is funded through development charges and not through property taxes, maintaining the concept that growth should pay for growth. As the city continues to expand, new amenities are needed to support new Kitchener residents. And two significant growth-related projects, and there are many in the budget, that I want to highlight are, first, the Cowan Recreation Center located at Schlegel Park. This 220,000 square foot facility is currently under construction and on track to open in 2026. It'll include an indoor pool, FIFA-sized soccer facility, quad gymnasium, cricket practice nets, and will provide other important gathering space for residents both in that neighborhood and throughout our entire community and beyond. And secondly, Fire Station 8, which will provide enhanced fire services in Kitchener's growing downtown and will be built alongside affordable housing units, which will advance the city's Housing for All strategy thanks to supports from the federal government and the Housing Accelerator Fund, as well as the provincial government through its Building Faster Fund. Focusing on the future, finally, the city is in the third year of implementing its 2023 to 26 strategic plan. The 2026 budget continues to build on investments made through previous budgets, with additional funding allocated to each of the 5 goal areas, which are building a connected city together, cultivating a green city together, creating an economically thriving city together, fostering a caring city together, and stewarding a better city together. The 2026 budget highlights approximately $20 million in funding that will help to advance strategic priorities identified in the strategic plan set by this council. In addition to these investments, as part of the draft budget, there was $1 million in one-time capital funding unallocated and available to further advance strategic priorities that are important to the community. Based on the feedback received from council, the proposed budget allocates the funding to 3 priority areas that I heard it on budget day last week that are priorities for council. $100,000 for the continuation of Pitch Kitchener, an initiative that allows local startups at Communitech to pitch innovative solutions that can be used to enhance municipal service delivery. $400,000 for improvements to park amenities such as seating and shade structures, barbecue pits, and other minor enhancements in parks across the city. And $500,000 for the implementation of the city's priorities for community building and special events, including the purchase and operation of equipment that is currently rented by the city and other groups that organize these events. There were some other items that were discussed by council members during the 2026 budget presentation by staff, and I'm confident that these can be addressed in 2026 through further discussion outside of the budget process. However, I'd like to acknowledge them today so they are part of the public record and ultimately part of the direction that will go to city staff coming out of this budget. The budget acknowledges there is some ongoing work that Council has identified as a continued priority in 2026, and Council will consider these items during the year as policy work is completed by staff and brought forward for consideration by Council and/or additional funding confirmation is obtained from other orders of government. The budget provides staff direction to continue that work, including in the following areas: additional investments in traffic calming based on the anticipated supports from the province of Ontario, consideration of the implementation of a rent eviction bylaw when that report comes forward, the exemption of public tree removal fees for non-profit affordable housing providers, which we heard from a number of you at committee at budget day last week, and staff will bring a report back on that, and an update to Make It Kitchener 2.0 economic development strategy, including a strategy focused on addressing downtown office vacancies. The 20-year vision included in the city's 2023-26 strategic plan is building a city for everyone, where together we take care of the world around us and each other. The investments included in the budget once again move us closer towards that vision while remaining affordable today and being ready for tomorrow. And so with that, council colleagues, those would be my remarks with respect to presenting the 2026 budget. And yeah, I guess from a process point of view, we will deal with it on the 11th. You will recall that one of the things we have done is once the budget is, if there aren't any amendments, as there hasn't been the last 2 years, we do pass a motion directing staff to implement the actions of the budget, and that's something that isn't required by the legislation, but something that we've adopted as part of our way of handling it collaboratively. So those would be my comments, and I just want to thank everyone again, both Chair Davey, Vice Chair Ioannidis, this entire council, and all of our staff for all of the good work that was done in putting this together. Thank you. Okay, we will now move to go in camera for the 3 items that are on the agenda. Somebody want to move that? Moved by Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Schneider. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Do we need to recess or not? No? Okay, so motion for 3 readings. Councillor O'Dooney, Councillor Stretch, all those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Deneau, Councillor Chapman, all those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you very much.